towards the end. I like the way that the police interrogated him.
Yeah.
And I thought it was very clever. The way the lead detective and then the lie detector woman.
Yeah.
The way they were planting seeds.
Yeah, 100%. We'll talk about that now because that chronologically, that is how obviously we had the police investigation. The police sweep the house. He was very suspect. He went on TV, did a few bits on the news and that, and then obviously he was brought in for questioning, and that is when, like you say, the interrogation took over. Yeah, no, it's very good. There's a 6-hour version on YouTube that you can watch. I've watched some of it, and it starts off with him going in the room and they were so nice to him. They're like, oh, how you doing? Like, sit down. And then it slowly progresses because they obviously had a lot more information than they let on. So they knew stuff about him and they were trying to, I think they wanted a confession out of him. And it was, it's interesting how they got to that. Yeah, I thought it was really good. Yeah, because they obviously, they offer him a polygraph test, don't they? Yeah. And when he's in there, she's like, obviously, you know the truth, and after this, we'll both know the truth. Yep. And if you're guilty, coming in here is the most stupid thing you've done in your entire life. And that just like setting that kind of tone on him was absolutely brilliant. Even if he was innocent, I reckon that would shit you up, wouldn't it? Yeah, I reckon that she would have come in at the exact same angle. And called his bluff. Yeah. And she was very clever. Yeah. She was like super clever. Because I would have been like, so are these 100%? Do they always come in 100%? And then if she was like, oh, they're like 80% right, then I'd be like, I would have played that card. So then if it did 100%. Come back, then you'd be like, well, 20% of people. So that it could have been that. Whereas and plus, a polygraph test can't actually be used as evidence in a court of law because there is that level. But I think it just kind of shits people up into a confession almost. He wouldn't break though, so she kept bringing up the information, like she was like, we've done that, you failed. Because he was also like breathing weird, wasn't he, to kind of throw off everything about him was weird. Like he had a picture of his girls in front of him, he never cried once, and they were like, they kept referring to the picture, your girls, and then I think at one point he said, I watched a video of them this morning, but it's like you would be in hysterics, you'd be crying your eyes out. But I think for him, he's like a pathological liar. Just lied about everything, and all he was trying to do is like self-preservation. Without doubt, he was not smart enough. No, he wasn't. He wasn't smart. Like, there was, soon as he'd got arrested, that was it. Yeah, like, you were fucked. But she knew, and the lead detective, he wasn't just going to confess. He kept denying it. He kept lying. So like they planted the seed that his wife may have done it. And that bit I thought was brilliant. And then so she planted that seed, like, this could have happened, this scenario. Did she? I think, didn't she say, did she hurt the kids? Did she hurt them? And and she's like, that's happened before. You're the dad. I can see you trying to protect. And she kept bigging him up. And then the lead detective guy kept saying, your dad's out here. He's here for you. No matter what, he's going to be there. The rest of your life is there. Like, he's outside, just supporting you, whatever happens. And then they both go out the room. And leave the cameras on. And just leave it rolling. When the dad was there, I kind of felt like the dad already knew. He knew. He knew some stuff. I don't think he knew. Because the way he told exactly shocked. If my son told me that, first of all, you'd be like crying that you've lost your 2 grandchildren. You wouldn't just be like, oh no, oh my God. Like, you'd be like mortified, wouldn't you, that you've obviously lost your grandkids. Yeah. And then, like, I don't know, it was all a bit strange. Yeah. I don't think he knew about the grandkids personally, but I think he knew, because the way they were talking, he was like whispering, and it was very hush hush. I think he knew something was going on. And then, of course, obviously, then he tried to pin it on her, didn't he? Yeah. Which didn't last very long at all. But it was the integration of the father was a very good move as well, because it's brilliant. Like it's a familiar person to and they know that they know, and that's what they both planted to see. It was like good cop, bad cop, and they were they're like, okay, we're going to go out now. We'll leave you with this. And then the dad comes in and they're like, anything you want to, tell your dad. And they know that he's not thinking, the cameras are rolling. Yeah. He's just like, I've got an out. I can say she did it. They'll believe that. Because they know he's a liar. Yeah. All he wants to do is not go to prison or just get away with whatever he can. Yeah.
again, going back to how like smart I think he was, I thought that when the detective woman said, you know, maybe that the wife had done it and then he'd like done it as like a revenge thing. I feel like that's the first time he even thought about it. There kind of was like a little thing went off in his head and was like, oh, I didn't fucking think of that. I didn't think of that out. And it was like,
he was dumb.
Yeah,
like, he was a dumb fuck.
He was. Because
horrible cunt.
But the thing is, with the he really was, but with, accurate, or is, but with that out though, that's where all of the Facebook posts and stuff really backs her, because in what fucking world is she going to kill her own kids? There's just no reality where you could see her killing her own kids. So that narrative just didn't rub. So I feel like they gave him a shit good narrative to try and run with. Do you know what I mean? One that wouldn't hold up, but one that in a case of desperation he would cling to.
Yeah.
And yeah,
he took the bait.
Yeah, he did. And then, but it all fell apart because obviously, you know, he was like, yeah, she killed them, so then I killed her. So then you disposed of the bodies. Yeah. Why didn't you just go, I had to stop my wife. I called the police when I had to physically stop my wife from killing my children. And in a crime of passion, I killed my wife.
Yeah.
So here are the bodies. Instead, you go and drive miles to dispose of them in like oil tanks and stuff. Yeah.
He just wasn't smart though, was he?
He wasn't.
Nah. Like, even going back to him, like, I didn't see anything on there of his friends. Like, there was nothing about, like, maybe they just didn't want to talk about it, but he just seemed like a bit of a loner.
Yeah.
Sort of just do as his wife told him.
Yeah.
And then maybe he just sort of had enough of that. Not with the kid when he murdered. I'm just saying, like, obviously he ended up getting with someone else. Didn't he?
She was also expecting a child, wasn't she? As well, which makes it.
She kind of like maybe.
Even worse.
I wouldn't say she pushed him away, because I feel like he was sort of you know, looking for an out anyway, but like he ended up having an affair with that other lady, and then it seemed like she controlled him as well. So it just felt like he didn't have, you know, usually, you know, if there's something going on at home, you've got your mates, you can talk to people and stuff, but he just felt like he'd gone from her to like someone even worse, really. Allegedly, you know, I'm not
the thing about it that got me as well.
I just felt, the woman that he got with, she seemed a bit fucking sketchy as well. But
and then she obviously, you know, sold him down the river the moment that she found out about what had happened, which is, you know, understandable. But obviously then it all came out as to what actually went down.